Welcome to IA and Tech Insights by Usima Tumi, a space where artificial intelligence, technology, and real-world innovation come together to transform the industries of tomorrow. Now, for anyone navigating the real estate world, you know the grind, right? Hours spent digging for leads, sifting through listings, trying to make sense of all this scattered market data. It's tough. And that's really the challenge Property Pulse PRO was built to conquer. Today, we're diving deep into Property Pulse PRO. It's a system that honestly showcases how AI-driven automation isn't just some future concept. It's actively revolutionizing a whole industry, specifically real estate lead generation and markets intelligence. And this isn't theory. We're talking about a platform that we've actually seen implemented, delivering, concrete results and really valuable insights to professionals right now.
That's exactly right. And our mission for this deep dive is to really unpack how Property Pulse PRO uses this advanced AI and automation to solve those very real everyday problems for real estate pros. Think of it like your shortcut to being incredibly well-informed. It lets you make proactive, smart decisions instead of always playing catch-up. So we'll explore its core parts, its practical functions, and yeah, most importantly, the actual tangible benefits it delivers.
Okay, let's get into it then. So, at its heart, what is Property Pulse PRO? How does it fundamentally change things for real estate professionals?
Right. So at its core, PropertyPulse PRO is this advanced AI-driven platform. It's specifically built for lead gen and real estate intelligence. Fundamentally, it's built on N8N, which is, a really powerful workflow automation platform. What we've seen it do really well is automate that whole laborious process, finding, extracting, analyzing, and then storing data about businesses, about properties. It just streamlines what used to be incredibly manual, really time-consuming stuff. It frees up professionals to focus on, well, higher value work.
And when you say AI-driven, what specific tech is powering this? I mean, what's actually under the hood making it all happen?
Okay, good question. So the foundation where all the workflows are designed and run, that's N8N. It's kind of the central automation engine. Then for organizing all the data we collect, we use Airtable. We sometimes call it the central data repository. It's where all the intelligence lives, all structured and ready to go. Now for the AI part, we're using powerful large language models. LLMs, specifically Google, Gemini, and Mistral models. These are the brains doing the conversational stuff, the data analysis, even the vision capabilities for images. For grabbing data from the web, especially tricky sites, we use third-party services like Apify and ScrapingBee. They're essential for pulling data from Google Maps and other websites reliably. And for deeper web research, we tap into search engine APIs like Brave Search API and SirPoppy. SirPoppy is great for getting comprehensive search results, page data, or SERP data. And finally, the way you actually interact with all this power, it's mainly through Telegram. Makes it surprisingly simple and conversational.
Wow, that's quite a tech stack, integrating all those different tools. How complex is the back-end maintenance? And how do you make sure they all talk to each other smoothly? It really does sound like an interconnected ecosystem. Let's maybe dig into how these pieces work together in practice. You mentioned functional units. Can you walk us through the first one, the main AI-powered lead generation agent?
Yeah, the maintenance question is fair, and honestly, that's where NNN's modularity really shines. It lets us build these robust, separate workflows that talk via APIs, makes updates and scaling much more manageable. Okay, so the main AI-powered lead generation agent, this is really the main way the user interacts with the system. It's where that intelligent delegation happens. You basically just chat with a Telegram bot, like you'd message a colleague. Behind the scenes, a central AI agent using Google Gemini figures out what you're asking in plain English. Then it decides which specific tool or sub-workflow needs to handle that request. It's all about hiding the complexity from you, the user.
Okay, so let's make it real. I'm a real estate professional. How would I use this to find, say, new business listings, like potential clients or partners? And what if I need something really specific? Or if the first search gives me tons of irrelevant stuff, how does the AI handle, refining the request or dealing with vague instructions?
Great points. Let's say you send a request through Telegram, something simple like find carpenters in San Francisco, US. What happens next is the AI agent, it's trained for this, it pulls out the key bits, search term carpenter, city San Francisco, country code US. Then it intelligently activates its website content crawler tool. This tool then triggers a workflow that uses Apify's Google Maps scraper. That scraper gets to work, pulls all the relevant business details, name, address, phone, website, the Google Maps link, and crucially, it automatically creates new structured records right in your new businesses table in Airtable. So what you end up with is instantly usable, organized lead data. This saves hours compared to doing it manually. We've seen it just drastically cut lead acquisition time. And to your point about niche request or refinement, that's where the strength of the Gemini LLM comes in. It understands your intent. So if you follow up with, only show me ones with 5-star ratings, or maybe exclude commercial properties, the AI can figure that out.
It might refine the search query before sending it to Google Maps, or it might filter the results after they come back, before adding them to Airtable. It gets smarter over time, too. What this really means for you isn't just saving time, though. It's fundamentally shifting your focus. Instead of grinding away on data collection, PropertyPulsPro lets you put that energy where it counts. Building relationships, talking to good leads, closing deals. You go from data gatherer to, well, a strategic player.
That sounds incredibly useful. Okay, what about getting deeper info from specific websites? Let's say I have a lead already, and I want to understand their business better by looking at their website content. Maybe find out exactly what services they offer.
Yep, for that, it's just as smooth. If you send a request like, scrape the content from https://example-realty.com, the AI agent knows that's a website scrape task. It pulls out the URL and calls another specific tool. Now, the name's a bit confusing, Extract Google Maps, but this is actually the tool that uses Apify's website content crawler. And this isn't just scraping the surface. It does a deep scrape of that URL, pulls out all the text content, and formats it nicely as Markdown. All that rich, detailed text then gets stored in the Business Web Details table in Airtable. So you have this in-depth info ready for analysis, or just to understand exactly what a potential client does. You can then easily search that text for keywords you care about.
Okay, now I'm really interested in Unit 2, the standalone vision-based AI scraper. I've definitely run into websites that are just impossible to scrape the normal way, tons of JavaScript, weird layouts. How does this unit tackle those? This sounds like where things get really innovative.
Oh, absolutely. This unit is a real game changer for exactly those kinds of tricky websites. The ones with heavy JavaScript, complex designs, or even just data shown as images that normal text scrapers just can't read. Its power comes from being able to extract structured real estate data by actually analyzing a screenshot of the web page. It's literally seeing the data kind of like a person would.
Wow. So if I'm browsing and find a property listing, maybe on Zillow or somewhere else, I just send the URL. That's it.
Exactly that simple. You send the URL of that listing page to the Telegram bot. The workflow takes that URL, sends it over to Scraping Bee, which then grabs a full-page screenshot of the site. And now here's the really cool part. That screenshot gets fed to Pixtral Latest, which is a specialized vision model from Mistral. What's amazing about this model is its ability to literally see and understand the visual layout of a page, even when traditional scraping would just fail. This AI model basically looks at the image and pulls out specific structured details: the address, price, status, beds, baths, square footage, the listing URL itself. We even built in an HTML fallback tool using Scraping Bee again. Just in case the vision model struggles with something in the image, it can try pulling the raw HTML as a backup to find that piece of data. Then all that extracted structured data, it automatically gets added as a new record in your property listings table in Airtable. Plus, you get a neat formatted notification right back on Telegram. It completely automates pulling key property data that would otherwise be painful manual entry. Huge time saver, and honestly, a big boost for accuracy too. You don't miss valuable listings.
That is a huge leap beyond old school scraping. It means you can pull data from almost anywhere.
Okay, and then there's Unit 3, the standalone advanced research agent, Property Pulse ++Os. You said this moves beyond just grabbing data into actual intelligence gathering, almost like having a personal AI research analyst.
Exactly right. This unit really functions like an AI research analyst. Its goal is to give you synthesized intelligence briefings. You're not just getting data points, you're getting analyzed summaries. So instead of asking for specific data, you might ask a broader research question like, what are the latest real estate market trends in Europe? It turns those kinds of vague questions into actionable, summarized intelligence, which saves a massive amount of research time.
So it's not just finding something specific, it's actually researching and synthesizing information. How does that work? What makes it different from me just Googling it myself?
Good question. It uses this clever two-step AI chain. First, there's AI Chain 1, which uses Google Gemini. Think of it as a query maker. It takes your normal question, like latest real estate market trends in Europe, and turns it into a super optimized, keyword-rich search query. Maybe something like European real estate investment market trends 2024 cap rates. That optimized query then gets sent to the Brave Search API. Then AI Chain 2 steps in. This model acts like a senior real estate investment analyst. It gets the raw search results back from Brave, looks at each one, scores them based on things like source authority, how much data is there, how useful it looks, and then it re-ranks them. The final output is this structured JSON file. It has an executive summary of the key findings, ranked results with scores, and the reasoning behind the scores, and even a next step query suggesting where you might look next. All this gets saved to the research results table in Airtable, and you get a really nicely formatted summary, including a scorecard for the top links, sent right back to you on Telegram. And like, this isn't just about saving time doing research, it's kind of about leveling the playing field. Imagine having the insights of a dedicated analyst instantly available. It lets you spot market trends or investment opportunities way faster, maybe even faster than bigger firms. This system empowers even smaller agents to make data-driven decisions that used to be, well, pretty much out of reach. It's way beyond a simple search because it gives you analysis, ranking, synthesis, not just a list of links.
Okay, so all this amazing data, leads, property details, market intel, it all flows into Airtable. We've talked a lot about finding and analyzing data, but where does it actually live? How is it organized so it's actually useful? That seems to be where Airtable, the central nervous system, as you called it, really ties it all together. Can we briefly look at how that's structured?
Absolutely. Airtable is definitely the central hub for everything we collect and process. We've set up several key tables for different kinds of data. First, there's the New Businesses table. That holds all the leads from Google Maps, name, address, phone, website, category, the map's URL, all that. Then, Business Web Details. That's where the raw text scraped from business websites goes. It has fields for the URL, the raw text itself, and the markdown version. For the property data from the Vision Scraper, we use the Property Listings table. That's got fields like address, price, status, beds, baths, square footage, listing URL, the key details. And finally, the analyzed research findings from the Advanced Research Agent. That goes into the Research Results table, with fields for URL, title, the summary, and the score it was given. Having it structured like this makes sure all the data is easy to find, easy to search, and ready to use, maybe even integrate elsewhere. Makes it truly actionable intelligence.
That structure makes perfect sense. Keeps everything tidy and accessible. It really is an end-to-end thing. Now, thinking bigger picture about the market, what gives PropertyPulsPro its edge? Why does it stand out in this, booming prop tech space?
Yeah, the differentiators are pretty clear, and they come from how comprehensive it is. A lot of tools offer limited options, but PropertyPulsPro gives you multi-channel, multimodal alerts. Telegram, email, Slack, straight into Airtable. You get info where you need it. A really key advantage is the AI-driven scoring and deduplication. This means you're getting high-quality, unique leads, not just noise or stuff you've already seen. The natural language interface via Telegram makes it incredibly easy to use. There's almost no learning curve, which is huge for adoption. What's really cutting edge, though, is the visual-based data extraction using Apify and the SIRP API. That lets us pull structured data that goes way beyond basic listings, capturing details others just miss. And lastly, the whole thing is built on N8N, giving it a modular and scalable architecture. This makes it super easy to connect with your existing CRM or other tools. So while others might just do simple alerts or scrape one source, PropertyPulsPro manages the whole pipeline, enriching data and really enabling proactive decisions. We've seen this give users a genuine competitive advantage.
Efficiency is obviously a massive benefit. Are there specific metrics you track that really show that efficiency gain? And beyond the tech itself, what about the market opportunity? Is a system like this financially sustainable? Because, for real-world innovation, it has to work financially too.
That's a critical point. We definitely track metrics like time saved per lead, reduction in manual data errors, increasing qualified lead conversion. And the numbers are significant. As for viability, the PropTech market is huge, projected around $70 billion by 2025, growing at like 15% a year. PropertyPulsPro is really well positioned there. We set up a flexible pricing model for different users. There's a B2C plan starting at €49 a month for individual agents, then B2B standard plans around €500 a month for agencies needing more automation, and even enterprise options from €999 up to $1,500 monthly for custom scraping and unlimited alerts. This tiered approach helps with broad adoption and revenue. The model is definitely sustainable based on recurring subscriptions and clear upsell paths. Our projections show hitting break even with about 420 standard subscribers, which would bring in around €50,000 in monthly recurring revenue, MRR, within about 12 months. So yeah, it demonstrates not just viability, but actual proven success. And looking ahead, the roadmap's exciting too.
We're planning deeper API integrations with major CRMs, expanding into more languages for a global reach, and adding things like predictive analytics for investments, maybe competitor monitoring tools. The goal is for PropertyPulsPro to stay this full spectrum solution, always evolving to help customers across the whole real estate lifecycle. It's really fascinating how much of the real estate industry still runs on these super manual processes, isn't it? Systems like this feel like a true glimpse into how these businesses will operate.
Absolutely. This deep dive into Property Pulse PRO really hammers home how using AI and automation